coercion. I can't coerce somebody to get the value that I want, whether it's something chicken scratches on a yellow notebook or something as formal as a written third-party appraisal by a certified and licensed appraiser. I can't coerce somebody to get what I want. I can't ask people to falsify documents and mischaracterize the value. I can't slip someone a hundo and say, hey, make this one come in. Hey, that doesn't work. Those are all forms of fraud, which means you got to be thinking BSAMO as well. Conflicts of interest. This is probably the quirkiest, the quirkiest one as it relates to these requirements. And it breaks down like this. There's some different discussion points that you can certainly take a look at on pages 29 and 30. But there's a safe harbor that I just want to jump to. How can we steer clear of risk in this area for the most part? Well, if you jump to the bottom of page 30, it starts there with our safe harbor provisions. And there's two different ones. There's two different buckets. And it's based on asset size. And so if we go to page 31, Roman numeral 1 at the top is going to be banks with assets of 250 million or less in one of the last two prior calendar years. So if we're 250 or less in either one of the last two calendar years, you're going to land in Roman numeral 1. That's your safe harbor. If you're 250 or more in each of the prior two, then you're large and you have a little bit more red tape. So I'm going to do both these at the same time, and I'll just add the thing that's different between the two. So the first two things are the same whether you're small or large. I can't pay somebody that's doing the valuation or any part of the valuation management process to get the number that I need. Again, I can't slip somebody a hundo and go, wink, wink, make this one come in. And so I can't pay somebody to get the number that I want in order to make the transaction happen. So that one is common between the two. And so you need to make sure that you've got procedures in place to ensure that's not happening. Number two, anyone participating in the credit decision process. So anybody that has a decision associated with the transaction can't also be involved in ordering, conducting, reviewing the valuation or the appraisal. Again, degrees of separation. Now, if you're a small bank, that's it. Large bank says, well, we're going to add one more layer to this. In addition to the people that have a say in the credit transaction not being part of the appraisal process or the valuation process, we also don't want anybody that has influence or oversight over the valuation or appraisal process and credit decisions at the same time, because here's what could happen. That senior whatever could say, you know what, we really want to make this loan. Hey, I'm in charge of you appraisers or appraisal management function people. Make sure this happens. So influence, conflict of interest, if you will. Now, I know some of you can't totally get away from that. So what they look for is degrees of separation within your process. Maybe it's only so far up that there could be influence. And so you've mitigated it by really putting these two areas as far apart as possible. The credit decision makers and the people that are doing the appraisal management functions or the valuation management functions. And so you've documented that. And most banks I've seen that have created those far apart degrees of separation really don't have any issues with this rule whatsoever. The other thing to do is you can outsource it to a third party. And a lot of larger institutions do that.